But there's also way more liberal media and way more conservative media. And so I don't know, I don't put that much stock in it.
Or people think CNN always leans one way. How do you feel about that?
It does.
I mean, yeah, and it's your network, so you don't really...
I mean, well, look, I would say it's fair to say that CNN, we're not Fox News.
But the problem is CNN.
You've been in that party a long time. Answer me. What did you get? You got a president.
What's good? What's good? I know you're like, why did you put that in there? Well. Abby Phillips, CNN host, was on the Breakfast Club, and she came out and she said a couple of things about Donald Trump that kind of shifted the room a little bit. Now, she's a journalist, right? And she is liberal and a Democrat. So the things she's saying, she's obviously, not a MAGA. So what she says is going to shock the room. But also in the video, the whole room is going to do something. And I'm going to stop and replay it for y'all so y'all can hear because it confirms why I played the video of our brother right here, Farrakhan, because he says, why y'all vote Democrat? They don't do nothing for you, but just gave you a black president. Well, it gave us now a black vice president. Congratulations. And so in this video, this is a room full of black people that vote Democrat. They're all going to do something at the exact same time, and it's going to blow your mind. But before we get started, I got to give credit where credit's due. This is where I got the video from because I was not taking a copyright strike from the Breakfast Club. So I got it from my brother right here, Black Abnormally Rising. Check him out, give him a subscribe or whatever. And yeah, please, because he did his work. Appreciate you, brother. Make sure you get your credit. But we're going to get right into it.
Way more liberal media and way more conservative media. And so I don't know, I don't put that much stock in it.
Or people think CNN always leans one way. How do you feel about that?
It does.
I mean, yeah, and it's your network, so you don't really...
I mean, well, look, I would say it's fair to say that CNN, we're not Fox News.
But the problem is CNN and Abby Phillip. She's called an anchor. She purports to be somebody who's basically like right down the middle.
But we're also not MSNBC.
That's true.
We're probably center left, and I think that has a lot to do with our audience.
A lot of the narratives that come out of the right as conspiracy mongering or partisan football, whereas she sees what comes out of the left as much more objective, or what comes out of the Democratic Party as much more objective. Like, that is just somebody with a clear as day ideological bias who can't see her own ideological bias.
So CNN fake news' most boring opinion commentator, Abby Phillip, is out here on Charlamagne's The Breakfast Club trying to actually make sense for a change. Now, some of the things she said, I still consider to be a bunch of freaking BS, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Now, The Breakfast Club is very, very strict on copyright claims, like literally.
I know. Listen, I had one video with Dame Dash, And it was literally like one line he said, and they went in on me. So shout out to the Abnormally Rising. Shout out to you, brother. I wasn't gonna take a hit. I wasn't gonna take it.
You know how that works for them, and but not for other channels. It doesn't do that. So I got to be pretty strict myself. In some cases, you may not even see the video, but have audio only. So just keep that in mind as I go ahead and react to this. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
We have to know what everybody is saying on all sides of the issue, because I don't think that ignorance has served anybody well. And particularly, I get a lot of criticism from the left, from people who are like, why does she have MAGA people on the show? And it's like, well, you should know what they're saying.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because just...
And it also makes for good conversation. No one wants to listen to a whole bunch of people agree with each other. No one wants to hear that. Now, we don't want to hear like a clear like debate, but we do want to hear different ideas. And everyone is not liberal, you know. And so it's refreshing to see a little bit of pushback.
So, you know, half the country voted for Trump and for Trumpism.
Well, I mean, more people voted for Trump than for the Democrats. I want to make sure that that record is clear. President Trump won the popular vote. So let's keep going.
And it's not helpful to be completely unaware of what is happening in those media ecosystems. So I personally think it's super important, and I want the debate. Like, we need to have that debate. I want it to be right there out in the open. And I also think that it's important for people on both sides to practice being challenged, because what we found on the show is that a lot of people are not used to being challenged.
Well, you mean the people?
No, they're used to you challenging them, and then you just pretty much taking away their black card. Because if you don't vote Democrat, you're not black. That's just, it is what it is. We see that in Virginia, right? President Obama is backing a white woman. That shit is crazy. Just because he's a Democrat. Oh my God, my head hurts.
On the left, I mean, Abby Phillip is on the show.
Actually, the Media Research Center did a study. This is a conservative group. They did a study back in September, and they counted how many times. They took a random sample of 10 episodes of CNN Newsnight, and they counted how many times Abby Phillip just interrupted different guests, from whether it's left or the right. They found she interrupted her liberal guests 3 times and her conservative guests 127 times. So basically, they said conservatives were interrupted 60% of the time and were interrupted adversarially 58% of the time. Liberals were interrupted only 8% of the time and were interrupted adversarially just 1% of the time. Of the 30 guests who were never interrupted adversarially, 29 were liberals. The sole conservative to avoid being cut off by Phillips spoke only twice for a total of 68 seconds.
So I know she loves to both sides this situation, but she doesn't challenge her own kind. She doesn't even admit that she's a leftist to begin with. None of the people at Fake News CNN do, but we all know the truth.
And when they have somebody literally staring them in the face saying, I disagree with you, for some people, they're like really taken aback. When you look at what Trump is doing as president,
this is okay. This is where it gets good. I want you guys, I know it's 8-9 minutes into the video. I apologize. I should have got down to this, right? This is the most important part of the whole video. Sorry about that. I want you to listen to what she says. She's a journalist, what she says, and then she's going to say something right after that, and it's going to make you scratch your head.
Way, he's challenging capitalism. He's putting tariffs on countries indiscriminately just because he wants to, making the case that he's doing it.
Not in China. I mean, China has some pretty specific things, as well as Canada. I mean, as well as India. I mean, I don't know why she said that, because now that I think about it, that's just factually incorrect, but let's keep going.
For Americans, he is taking government stakes in private companies. That's a Bernie Sanders idea, by the way.
All right. So one of the things she does is to take away some of like credit. She's going to say this is someone else's idea. even though if the idea is a good idea or bad, it doesn't matter, right? She doesn't want to give him full credit. So let's keep going.
Is creating a government website where people can shop around for prescription drugs, another Bernie Sanders idea. So his willingness to just take some of these ideas the Democrats have been talking about and just do them, no matter how controversial they are, has been one of the things that, whether you like him or not, what people will say about Trump is that he does what he says. And I think that Democrats, one of the big problems that they have is that voters don't think they're going to do what they say.
That's a fact.
Hold on. Charlamagne said, what did he say? What Charlamagne say? Let me hold on. Because listen, this is Trump deranged syndrome person number one for Black people. He is super Trump deranged. So let's get back to it.
Say about Trump is that he does what he says. And I think that Democrats, one of the big problems that they have is that voters don't think they're going to do what they say.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Now, real fast, because it's important. Back to,
We put you there.
back to my brother right here. What did he say? He said, let's go back. What did he said? What did y'all voted for Democrats?
I go out in the street with the people.
Hold on.
That's not your legacy. A long time. Answer me. What did you get? You got a president.
No. They got more than the president. Let's go back. What did our brother say? Say it one more time, brother.
You got a president.
We're not Fox News.
You've been in that party a long time. Answer me. What did you get? You got a president. He's worried about his legacy.
Now, it's amazing. This is amazing because Charlamagne just confirmed that the Democrats don't do shit for us. I don't know how old that clip was of Farrakhan, right? It has to be old because he just talked about only Obama and not Mrs. Harris. So it has to be kind of old. And Charlamagne is admitting they don't follow through. This is amazing.
Say all the right things, but they don't think they're going to do what they say.
Well, yeah, there's an obvious reason for that. It's because they keep voting for them anyway. If you know that you can make stupid promises, say ridiculous things, do ridiculous things, basically go against everything that you claim to stand for, but people are going to vote for you anyway because big bad racism, because of big fat racist in the other party, then, I mean, why do they have to execute on any promises? I mean, you might have some actual real independents who might decide to, vote Republican or not vote at all or vote third party or something. But the vast majority of Democrats, especially Black folks, are going to vote for Democrats no matter what. Don't even know what.
Blue, no matter who. Shout out to Obama. Blue, no matter who. Blue, no matter if you're going against your own race.
The hell these people stand for, what's going on. They just point the finger at some alleged racism, and that's really all they need to do.
And so whether it's challenging, you can call it challenging capitalism or challenging whatever, voters want to know that you're willing to buck the system for them. And I think Trump does that right now in a way that really shakes people up and makes people really mad. But that is also why a lot of voters, whether they like him or not, they will describe him as effective.
I wonder how, though, because it's like
Bruh, she just went over a list of things that he got from Bernie Sanders, right? She went over a list of things that he said he was going to do and he did, and Charlamagne still says this goofy shit. I don't understand. I don't know what is in the water. I don't know what will take for them to wake up. He even admitted with his own mouth, Democrats don't do nothing for us. And he's still just like, this is baffling.
Right now, in a way that really like shakes people up and makes people really mad. But that is also why a lot of voters, whether they like him or not, they will describe him as effective.
I wonder how though, because
what do you mean you describe him as effective? He is effective.
Shout out to, this is insane. Once again, I want to give credit again to my brother for, hopefully he didn't get the copyright strike. So I'm gonna give him one more shout out. You know what I'm saying? Give him a follow. Please follow my brother. Please. All right. So I wanted to also get the opinion of some random, Black people that also saw this video too, because I thought this was great. Honestly.
You think she was a Trump supporter because the way she was talking on the Breakfast Club, I'm trying to understand why she never talks like that when she's on CNN. Why does she always act like she's in a state of confusion, having all these panels asking the questions that she got up on the Breakfast Club and answered herself? Abby Phillips doesn't seem to be confused about why the American people voted for Trump. Abby Phillips doesn't seem to be confused why there's a disconnect between the American people and the Democratic Party. Abby Phillips doesn't seem to be confused that Trump actually gets things done and does what he says he's going to do, no matter how controversial they may seem to the American people. Abby Phillips doesn't seem to be confused as to why the Democratic Party is losing so much of its following in voters that have traditionally voted for them year after year after year. Abby Phillips doesn't seem to be confused about why the Democratic Party still probably will not win when Trump is done with office. She doesn't seem to be confused about where the Democratic Party is going wrong, which is really interesting because I feel like she gets on CNN every day and acts like she is in just a state of confusion as to what's going on with the Democratic Party, as to why so many people have a high approval of Trump. I'm starting to wonder if she actually voted for the man.
Democratic Party is nothing but lip service. They'll tell you all these promises, but never keep them, whereas Donald Trump keep his promises.
When you look at what Trump is doing as president, in a way, he's challenging capitalism. He's putting tariffs on countries indiscriminately. He is taking government stakes in private companies. That's a Bernie Sanders idea. Has been
challenging or saying something that to discredit Donald Trump, but she stated that he's challenging capitalism, that he's setting up these websites where people could actually bargain shop for their medication, and he follows through on his promises, regardless whether you agree with this man, disagree with him, or feel indifferent. He follows through, and if the things that he can't follow through on, he still attempt.
Trump is not picking a side. He's saying that this is best for the American people. Bernie Sanders, as cuckoo as he is, that don't mean everything he say is wrong. Maybe his motives are wrong, but everything he say isn't wrong. Bernie Sanders could be right about a few things. Just like, I forget the guy's name, Dow, or I forget his name. The Asian guy that ran for president that was saying that the American people need a dividend. And he's not wrong. When the American government is making profits and making money, that should matriculate down to the American people, because we are actually investing in the productivity of the government. So that means when I give taxes to the government and the government creates something that creates a profit, or they do business with other countries and we have excess revenue coming into the system, then the people should get some of a kickback. And so we're investing in it. We're investing our hard-earned money in the federal government. So some form of that makes sense to me. Not the people that don't pay taxes. If you ain't paying taxes, you don't get nothing. But if you are contributing taxes, there should be, in my personal opinion, the more taxes you make, the more of a contributing dividend you should get in the country's interest. That's my personal opinion. But just because Dow or whatever his name is was a complete nut job in some other cases don't mean he's wrong in every case. Now let's get to the grand finale. Nick Fuentes, as some people call him. Only reason why I'm making these videos.
CNN actually wants to hear both sides of the political spectrum. She hosts a show, basically a roundtable, kind of like The View, except they allow conservative voices to talk. Apparently, that's controversial now. And so online, she's getting slammed because she's willing to have Republicans on her show and she actually listens to them. And right here is exactly the problem with the Democratic Party today. They don't want discussion. They don't want debate. They want to be in an echo chamber where everyone nods their head and claps on cue. The second you try to understand where the other side is coming from, you may not even agree. You just want to understand. They call you a traitor. If your ideas can't stand up to opposing viewpoints, maybe your ideas aren't that strong to begin with. You can't say you stand for democracy, then freak out when someone from the other side gets to speak. So shout out to Abby Phillips for actually having the guts to bring people in that think differently. That's how we move forward, not by...
All right. This is CJ. You feel me? This is CJ, the content connoisseur. Once again, I want to shout my brother one more time for the video. Hold on. For the video right here. Give him a follow. Hype the video for him. You feel me? And we out.